Welcome back to the Rare Book Views channel, where I am hoping to get to show you some rare books and share some thoughts on books and hear from you about books, talk a lot about books. And I'm really enjoying this. It's a weird new hobby of mine, and it means I get to sit down and really think about books from time to time, which is really fun for me. So if you're into that, please subscribe and let me know what you are thinking and reading. Today I'm going to a great bookstore. I've been there before and shown off some of their shelves. It's a huge warehouse, and I think they just deal by volume. They have some books that I think are really overpriced, that they are highly ambitious with the pricing, and then they have some books that I think they didn't realize what they have. So it's really great for treasure hunting, because sometimes they have really nice books that I can't afford and I get to see, and then sometimes they have books that I get to take with me because I'm frugal and I'm happy to put in some time, and then I get to collect things. We just had the holidays, so now I have given people books for presents and I have to restock the present shelf. And I am looking for stuff to read, but I have a lot of things on my to be read shelf, so I'm less interested in browsing for fiction or things like that. I'm looking more for the stuff that's been on my list that's hard to find, and then obviously some classics or some rare books for my collection, and also for my book selling habit, which is how I afford my collection with my frugal ways. So let's go see what we can find. So I had a good trip. There were some people out, and this time of year, sometimes I think post holidays, the stores are a little lower in stock. I think the used bookstores are sometimes, people haven't been in to sell books for a while. It's not maybe the first thing you do right after the holidays. So there were fewer books in some ways, but I did find some cool things and I did get lucky. Okay, so I found these two guys on completely separate shelves in different parts of the store. Tarzan and Son of Tarzan. Interesting. These are reprints. This is a publisher called A.L. Burt, and very similar to Grosset and Dunlap. I show that a lot because Grosset and Dunlap does a lot of reprinting of children's classics, and that's one of my favorites, so I run across this a lot. This is similar, but when you look at the title page, and these are kind of cool because they have a frontispiece, this picture right before facing the title page, and it is, I think this is a black and white version of the original in Tarzan and the Apes. And then on the copyright page, you can see it gives the date and it says the publisher is McClurg in Great Britain. McClurg was the original publisher of Tarzan in Great Britain. If you found one by McClurg, that would be super valuable. These are not, these are reprints, but they're reprints of the British version. And then Son of Tarzan, this has been loved. People have enjoyed these books. This one has this kind of frontis. So it has an illustration, which is nice, that's in its favor. And it says also McClurg on the copyright page, it looks the same. This one on the title page right here, it says A.L. Burt 1912, which is kind of hard to believe, frankly. Oh, it must be just a weird font. 1918, it looks like a 2, but it's not because this was originally published in 1917, and I kind of don't believe them that that's the date. I think they probably reprinted after that. If you happen to know, please let me know. I do not collect Tarzan and the Apes. I didn't read this as a kid, so I don't hold on to these. I got these for about $6 total, and I think these will go on eBay if I start an auction at about $10. They'll go, who knows, which is actually part of the fun. It's a little bit of a stock market gambling situation that when you put things up for auction, you have no idea. People might fall in love with it. So that will earn me approximately $2. It's not gonna be a ton of money, but you know, if you're paying $2 for a book, that's a whole book. I got this. This is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, and I have read this book and I really enjoy it. This edition is one of the early ones, 1930s. It's Doubleday. It's a reprint. This is a really puzzle book because if you find it with the dust jacket, it has the dust jacket, but I think the cover on this is nicer. So I think I would pick this one. I have never found one that was in good enough condition that I wanted to keep it. I always mull it over. I like to carry it around with me, take it home, get to know it. This edition, the title page, there's something going on because I only found it this way. The title page, you can always see the webbing coming through here. I don't know if it's a design flaw or what, but in any event, because this was a pretty well done movie on Netflix and it was highly popular and the actors were very popular, this book kind of got legs, which is something that happens in the book sort of stock market. If a book is the basis of a popular show, people really want a vintage copy. So this one went crazy high. I think it was, right when it came out, this edition would maybe be $50 on eBay. And right now it's maybe $15, $20 on eBay, but I paid $6. So it'll make me a couple dollars. Grimm's Fairy Tales. Always awesome to find a copy of this vintage. This one is by Garden City. I have found other books by this publisher that are have this paste down on the cover, but I've never seen Grimm's. This is hard to find. People love it, an old vintage copy of Grimm's for a present or for a collector. The version of stories in these in vintage, very different than the ones that we know from Disney. Disney really cleaned them up. These are mildly terrifying. They're really creepy and scary, and not the versions that we know. This is a nice edition, I think. It has illustrated end papers, but you can see the webbing coming through. The illustrations are pretty cool. They have color plates where it's an entire color illustration, takes up the whole page, and it's on a different type of paper, and then it's intermixed with the text on the regular printed paper, and that is a slightly more expensive process. So I know this is a slightly, when this was new, a fancier book. I can show you. Here's another illustration. Really nice. You can see a lot of detail in the shadow. It makes you wonder what it was like when books like this were new and they had the art in them, how amazing it would be to bring something like this home. This one, somebody has lovingly filled in these letters. So it's not in amazing shape. I also don't know this. Noel Pocock and M. DeVille did the illustrations, and I don't know them. So I'm interested actually to do a little research on them and see what I can find. Grimm's illustrated vintage, $15 to $20 maybe, is what it's worth. This is cool. Poe by Rackham. I love Edgar Allan Poe. I love Arthur Rackham. I did a video showing a tour of my Rackham collection, and I'll put a link to that in the notes so you can check it out. I have this copy. This is a really nice reprint of this book. It is the same large format as the original. It has the illustrations. This is Weathervane. It is Weathervane Press, and they reprinted a lot of the Rackham books. Rackham are a little bit expensive. They're out. Some of the different books are, the early editions would be out of even my price range, but they reprinted them in an affordable way, and I can say that it's nice to have a copy, and they're very nice to read. But you can see the color illustrations, they're not quite as detailed, not quite as pretty as some editions, but the black and white and woodcuts are just amazing. So I think this is a great, if you need a budget copy of Poe, which the Rackham would be very expensive, this is a great option. And it was, I paid $5 for this, and I think probably 10 to 20 on eBay, somewhere in there. So worth the gamble. So I had a great trip. I found some cool finds. I did find something that is for a present. I do understand the feedback. I will tell you when those presents have been sent and opened, then I can show you what they were. And I had a lot of fun. Visit a local bookstore. Go find some used books. It's great. Tell me what you're reading, and if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and let me know what you liked about it so I can make some more of them. Thanks so much. Happy reading.